Welcome to this new year yoga. So within this session of movement and breath, we will be letting go of the old, imagining we're absorbing or have already absorbed all the lessons and the bounty and the beauty from the year gone by. So we keep that within us, stored deep within our cells. And then we shed that skin of the old year so we can walk forward into the new year really fresh, renewed, in our power, in our center, in our hearts, with the very excited energy of what's to come, of the new, anticipating the most beautiful and bountiful year we can imagine. So what we will need at some point is a scarf or a belt, so have that with you. And yeah, let's begin. So we'll get settled in a comfortable seated position. Nice straight spine if you can, crown open, shoulders back, wriggling those sit bones till they evenly ground into the mat, the floor. Doing whatever's comfortable with the hands, and just close the eyes down if you can. Bring the focus to your breath without changing it right now. Just notice the breath, how steady it is, how deep or shallow it is, whether it's through the nose or the mouth. Can you feel the gentle sensation of the air coming and going from your nostrils or your mouth? And if you are mouth breathing, see how it feels to breathe in and out through the nose. As you focus in on the breath, notice how everything just calms down. Time seems to either stand still or lengthen. Worries, problems, stresses fall away each and every time we become present to the now. Welcoming yourself to this new year, to this practice, to the space that you're in, your body, your mind, your heart. And we'll use the pranayama practice of the cleansing breath, where we do a deep inhalation, a deep belly breath, breathing all the way to the lower belly, expanding on that inhale. On the inhale, it's a chance to gather up any stress, any tension, any worries, any annoyances, any problems. Imagining that we're gathering that up, and on the exhale, out of the mouth, an audible sigh sound coming out, a release and a letting go of all that no longer serves. So in your own time, in your own way, begin that breath, deep inhalation through the nose together. Exhale out the mouth to release. Good, let's do one more. Breathing in, gathering anything from the past year that you feel you need or want to let go of that has not been supportive or you've struggled with, and you can gather it up on that big inhalation and let's let it go. Let's start the shedding skin process. Making sounds there. You could really release, let anything come out of the mouth that needs to. And then let's just sit up tall once more, eyes stay closed as we scan the physical body, looking for areas that feel tense or tight or achy or painful, out of sorts. And we are aiming to do this in a really loving, non-judgmental way, just to become aware of how our body feels. If you find any spaces that feel tight or tense, you could invite them to soften, and it might happen instantly. It might happen over the duration of the practice. They might even ask you for something. They might ask for a touch or a stretch or a wriggle to start that process of letting go. Good. On the next breath, bring that awareness, excuse me, to the mind, the brain. And again, is there anything clouding your judgment? Is there any repetitive negative thoughts in your mind? How does the mind feel in this moment? Is it busy? Is it calm? Is it dull? Is it tired? And could we ask the mind to clear out during this process, to dissolve any heaviness, to bring light and clarity, connection between the hemispheres, so we can think with this beautiful clarity. And then let's give the mind full permission to take a back seat as we give over to the body, to the breath, and to the heart. On the next breath, coming down in your awareness, that loving awareness in your heart space, the center of your chest, perhaps placing one or both hands here, and start to ask your heart how your heart is. How are you? How does it feel? Is it open, expansive? Is it closed? Is it restricted? Does it have barriers up? Is it in pain of any kind? And again, this is a loving, gentle awareness that we're bringing, no judgment, just notice. And as you do this gentle invitation that the heart might expand, might open, might soften during our practice, maybe even some of your heart's intentions or prayers, we call it sankalpa in yoga, might bubble up to the surface for what you would like to see or feel or create in this new year. So allowing that to start to bubble up now. And joining the palms together at the heart center. Press the palms quite firmly, excuse me, into each other, allowing two hemispheres of the brain to come into cohesion. And really bringing that focus to those intentions that you're dreaming in for the new year. And we'll open the practice with a chant of Om. So before we do so, we'll take a full breath, breathing all the way in, all the way out. Breathing all the way in to begin the chant. Gently wriggle. Flutter the eyes open. Coming back, bringing the hands to the knees. I'm going to start some anti-sunwise direction, anti-clockwise circles with the hips. It can be big or small. They can be fast or slow. Ideally, when you get the hang of it, close down the eyes and allow your body, your breath to move you. As you come to the front, you can slightly look up, and that's where we'll take a breath in. As you come to the back, round the spine out and look down and breathe out. However, less important than doing the breath in the right places is just making it feel good for your body. If you find any places that feel extra tight, use your breath there. Pause the body. Breathe into that space, gathering that tension up, and intentionally breathe that tension out of that space. Last one here. And just spiral that back inwards, inwards, inwards till you find your center, especially in the womb space or the hara. Root down from that space. It's like you're sending a grounding cord from that space, or roots down from that space all the way down until they connect into the heart, the crystal heart of the earth, anchoring here. At the same time, from that space in the sacral chakra, the second chakra, that center point, come all the way up through the central column, that Sushumna, up and out through the crown, all the way up through the building you're in, all the way up through the sun star, and eventually connect with the heart of the universe, heart of the cosmos, whatever that looks like, feels like to you. Open yourself up to receive this incredible cosmic light shower that's now beaming down around, over, through you, helping to further cleanse and renew and revitalize your being as you go into this new year. Anything that's heavy, that's being washed out by that high vibrational light, automatically releases down and out through the root, through the grounding cord to the earth. We finish this process, although this process will be continuing throughout the practice. But in this moment, we will complete by breathing in and up from the earth heart, this incredibly divine, loving energy and essence all the way up and up and up through your roots, up and up and up into your belly and up and up and up, filling the entire space of your chest, heart space, front, back, sides, all the chambers, all the parts of your heart filled with this loving energy from the earth. That cosmic light mixes with that loving energy from the earth, and together they fuse and create this incredible harmonious vibration at your heart that's then able to pulsate, ripple outwards, 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 right to the edges of your bubble, your container, your energy body, as you completely reset and find your 0 point, your wholeness and your holiness here. Taking a breath as you really receive and integrate this. Bringing the hands back to the knees as we come sunwise with our circles now, eyes closed. You might like to keep an awareness, an image of this incredible bubble of light and love around you. Lovely. Take your time coming back to that center point again. Feeling yourself centered, grounded, connected above. In this sphere, this bubble of light. The hands staying where they are. We'll do some seated cat-cow. Inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, rock back, look down. Again, find your pace. Three. Last one here. Back to center, sit up tall. Bringing the chin down to the chest. Begin some slow as you can rotations with the neck. Ideally closing the eyes down. Just choose one direction for now. And just like before, learning to take charge of our bodies and our health by conscious breathing. So when we find a space that feels tight, pause, breathe into that space. So unlike you're breathing into your chest or your lungs or your belly, you're breathing into that direct, specific space that feels tight. And as you do that, you are gathering that tension up, maybe into a ball. And as you exhale, consciously, you are releasing and you feel that release of tension. If you can, you work as you do that with the Ujjayi breath. So that's the deep inhalation, exhalation through the nose with a slight constriction at the throat. So it becomes a bit noisy, also known as the ocean breath, as it sounds like a wave. Lovely. When you're ready, we'll start to go the opposite direction here. Lovely. Take your time. Come back to center when you're next there. And we will begin our shoulder rolls straight from there. So inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Quite big movements if you can. Exhale, back and down again. When you've got the hang of it, close down the eyes, perhaps using a visualization here as the shoulders come up, with gathering anything you're ready to release from the last year. As you exhale, all of that stuff just slides down and out through the shoulders, down through the spine, into the root and down into the earth. Lovely. Let's do a few moving forward. So inhale up, exhale down and forwards. And then one more to really set the shoulders at the back. Lovely. I'm going to do a little spinal twist. So the right hand up, inhale, onto this left knee, exhale. Inhale, look forwards. And then exhale, twist from the waist, looking behind you. And gently back to center. Inhale, left arm. Exhale to the right knee. Inhale, look forwards. Extend through the crown. Exhale, twist. And back to center there. Lovely. Yeah, so we're going to come onto all fours. So wrists directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Inhale, looking up, tailbone to the sky. Exhale, drawing under. Do one more here. Lovely. Either stay in here or get ready for downward facing dog. So all the fingers are opening and individually pushing, pressing down into the floor. Back toes are going to tuck under and you lift the knees. Let the head dangle. You can give the head a shake in yes and no. And you can walk the dog here. So pressing one heel back, then the other. And come to rest back on all fours as we come into a balance here. So we bring the right leg out, flex the foot. We're aiming to keep the hips in a square. First option is to look down in half balance. Second option, bringing that left arm out and looking ahead. So we're in a balance here, drawing tummy in, maybe finding a spot to focus on. Keep that gaze, that drishti. Gently release here. If you need to, have a little wriggle before we go over to the other side. So left leg out, flex the foot, look down for half balance, or opposite arm coming out for full balance, looking ahead. And release. Open the knees wide, big toes touching, sink the bottom back, arms reaching forward, rest the forehead onto the mat. Let go. See how deeply you can soften and surrender in this moment. So maybe make a connection from your heart, your belly, your head to that center of the earth. And just imagine that earth's magnetism, the gravitational pull, drawing out anything that's heavy, anything that doesn't serve you, and taking it away as you really soften. Breathe in deep breaths, perhaps breathing out of the mouth as you switch over to that parasympathetic nervous system, allowing you to rest for a moment. Lovely. From here, gently start to come up. Do it slowly, gently. Bring the knees back underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders as we come into downward facing dog again. Tuck the toes under and pushing into that dog. Again, you can walk the dog here or stay in a still dog, whatever feels better. Nice deep breaths. When you're ready, we're going to walk the feet forward, the hands back, and stay in ragdoll. So soft knees, arms dangling, head dangling. Make sure there's no tension on the neck. Head should be parallel with the floor, so bend the knees as much as you need to get that position. And just release again. Anything you need to release. See if you can shake out the arms, the wrists, fingers. Lovely. And just keep breathing here, perhaps breathing out of the mouth. Okay, and then bend the knees. As you come up, make big figures of 8 around the body, all the way to the sky. Inhale, hands together, exhale down. Lovely. As we come into a balance, so we're going to come into our tree pose. Get steady on the left foot And either leaning the right foot against the left leg at the bottom so it's still on the floor, or bringing the foot up, just don't have it on the knee. And find your drishti, so a point ahead of you that's not going to move, and fix your gaze upon that point, breathing as steadily as you can. Either stay here, or if you wish to bring your arms up and out, that's fine. Just have your shoulders soft. Hands come together as you come all the way down and release. And shake that out. And then we'll come onto the opposite foot. So wherever you went with your last balance, going to the same place here. Start with the hands together. So breathe and find that balance. Rooted to the earth, branches to the sky. And when you're ready, if you wish to bring the arms up, then do so. Shoulders soft. Bring the hands together, all the way down. And release, shake that out. Okay, so we're going to do a little shaking practice. So we're going to move the body and shake. So when we do this, it's really, really good for everything, especially the nervous system and the energy body. So when we move the energy in the body, it helps us to release kind of congestion and things that may be in the way. So a good way to get rid of stuff we don't need and to really reset the body is to shake. So you can do whatever you like for the shake. You could just shake your hands for the whole time, or the arms. I'm going to kind of jump a little bit, so I'm going to lift my heels up and down to start that shake, having my feet underneath my hips. I'm just going to stay here for a few moments, shaking everything that I can, everything that feels good. So you can make it quite vigorous, you can turn it into a dance, you can have the arms up, down to the sides, but try and just keep shaking whatever you can for the duration. Any noises that want to come out? Right, final shake. Really get rid, get loose, whatever you can. Start to slow it all down. And then just bring that to a still point, bringing the thumb and first finger together. Drop the arms down by the sides, feet underneath the hips, stand up tall, shoulders back and down, eyes closed. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Kind of fast sigh to reset. And just feel the energy moving, weaving through your body. Tingling, warm sensations. Circulating. Knowing exactly where to land in your body for this reset. Just bringing to your mind's eye any feelings or images, prayers of your intentions for this next year, what you're calling in. And just bringing one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, taking a nice deep breath. So from that stood up position, we're going to come back down to seated position. So however feels good for you to do that. And once here, I'm going to do a forward fold. So we're going to bring soles of the feet together into bound angle. If you're wanting a deeper stretch, draw the heels in to your pelvis. If you want a gentler stretch, especially if you were menstruating, draw the feet out into more of a diamond shape. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, holding onto the feet. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forwards. Nice deep breaths into the hips. Hips storing our emotions, so we're going to let go of any old emotions here. Lovely, then we're going to come to lie down, so feet flat on the floor, hip distance apart, knees are bent. Grab your scarf or your belt, come and lie down. Okay, and then we're going to wrap what you've got around the instep of your foot and straighten that leg if you can. Head and shoulders on the floor, and then breathing deeply into the calf, into the hamstrings. Again, ideally we're using this Ujjayi breath here. And gently release, take your time Just lying with both legs on the floor. Notice if there's any difference between the two legs. And then let's come to the opposite leg now. And releasing down. Again, just notice how that feels in both legs now. Or bending the knees, feet flat on the floor. And we'll come into bridge pose, arms down by the sides, push down through the feet, lift the bottom, peel the spine off the floor. Breathing here, heart open to all the possibilities and potential of the new year. Last breath here. Gently lowering all the way down. When the tailbone meets the floor, grab the knees and begin to circle or roll side to side, forwards and back. So we're giving our sacrum this delicious massage. And from there, go straight into our spinal twist, knees flop in one direction, turn the head the opposite way. If you've got space, the arms might come out in a big T position. All the way back and over to the other sides. And then back to center, where we'll come into short Shavasana. So feet open, let the hips open by opening the feet at the heels, the ankles, arms down by the sides, a little bit away from the body, palms open to the sky, head, neck and spine all aligned, eyes are closed. And just be in that stillness, that silence, allowing your body to fully integrate and anchor this reset deep within your cells. Taking a couple more deep breaths here. And when you're ready, wriggling the fingers, wriggling the toes, rolling over onto one side. When you get here, an opportunity to spend a moment in gratitude. What are you grateful and thankful for in your life? And then when you're ready, using your hands, your arms to support you to come back up to that comfortable seated position where we began. When you get there, dropping the eyes closed, bringing the palms back together, bringing that awareness on your Sankalpa, your heart's prayer, especially for this new year. And on our final chant of Om, we will send our prayers into the net of light, into the grid that connects us all, along with this prayer of peace for the entire planet, for all beings everywhere. So we'll begin with that full breath, breathing all the way in, all the way out, all the way in. Bring the hands, the arms up. First finger, index finger, middle finger out, and the thumb closes down the other two. Arms are at about 45-degree angle. Just imagining this diamond white light showering you, all the sparkles and the colours of the rainbow, creating this cocoon, this seal around you, so that all of this stays deep within you, offering so much love and blessings for you and your new year. Thank you for practicing.